rev up your engines. Today I'm going to talk about 5 things that can save your life if you get in a big accident. Even though nobody wants to get in an accident, you should be prepared. Because if you don't have these things in the first place, it isn't going to do you any good if you do get in a wreck. Now the first thing is a fire extinguisher. This is a Hellguard. It's made especially for car fires. Now people used to use halon, but the original halon fire extinguishers, the halon is a really strong chlorofluorocarbon, so it reduced the ozone layer, and it was against the law. Decades ago they made it illegal. They're allowed to recycle and stuff, but they can't make any new, so they came up with this instead. Now it still is a chlorofluorocarbon, but it's 96% weaker than the halon itself. So really, it's only 4%. It's no big deal. It's not like you're running around spraying stuff with fire extinguishers every 3 seconds. Now they use the same chemical to put fires out in airplanes. So they tested it out and found out it worked just as good as the old stuff, but it doesn't ruin the ozone layer as much, and it doesn't bother sensitive people as much as the old stuff did. It's not that much of an irritant. And the big advantage of this stuff is, not only can it save your life, but it can save your car's life too, because it doesn't leave a residue, it doesn't ruin electronics. It's a very good fire extinguisher like I'm showing you here. Here we have a little gasoline electrical fire. And here comes a fire extinguisher. Look at that, no residue. The flames went out. It's an amazing fire extinguisher material. You can have your own life saved, or you can have somebody else's life saved. You really want to have one of these in your car. Now the second thing that can save your life is one of these little crash safe devices. It's got a little knife inside, so if you're upside down and your seatbelt's stuck, you can cut through the seatbelt with it. It has a very strong light if it's night and you can't see, but mainly it's got this cool little tip in it, so it can break glass. If your automatic windows are stuck up and they don't come down, this can break right through them. I went to a junkyard, bought a car glass. Let's see if this can break it when you're stuck inside. Here goes nothing. Yes, indeed, it does work. Now the next thing that can save your life is a flare to warn people that there's been an accident, especially if it happens at night. Now there's tons of different flares you can get. When I was a kid, they had the old mechanical ones that you lit just like a stick of dynamite, looked like a stick of dynamite, and it would burn bright red. But this is a smart flare. It's electronic, and man, they really work at night. They don't cost much, and since they're LEDs, they can go a long time before they run out of power. And this particular one, hey, it's got a USB charging port, so you never even need to buy batteries for the thing. That's the main hassle of any electronic flare. If you got to keep putting batteries in it, maybe you don't use it for 4 years, and then when you go to turn it on, nothing happens. This is a much better idea. You don't have to worry about batteries. This is a handy one because it's small. You can clip it on anything, stick it in the ground, whatever you want to do. But of course, they make big ones too. You can get really big ones, or you can get medium-sized ones. You can get whatever size you want. But just make sure that you have at least one in your car, because if you need it, it's too late if you got to go buy one later. Now the next thing that can save your life in an accident is your phone, of course. If you get in a wreck, or if you see someone else in a serious wreck, quick, call 911. Get help to come as soon as possible. Even if you don't know where you are, hey, there's always Google Maps. You can tell them exactly where you are using your Google map. So don't leave your phone at home. Take it with you whenever you go places. It can be a lifesaver. I remember when I was a kid in Niagara Falls, it's a shame they didn't have cell phones then. A kid my age fell into the Niagara River in the winter, and by the time the guys ran back home to use the phone, it was too late. Went over the falls. That was the end of them. If they'd had cell phones in those days, somebody could have called up an emergency and say, hey, this kid fell in the river, quick, come get him. We all take them for granted today, but hey, they can be lifesavers. So make sure your phone's charged up, you're going places. Get a little charger in your car if you don't have one already to plug in so it stays full while you're driving. And of course, your phone's got a light too. Now, the last thing that can save your life during a wreck is make sure you got your medical insurance card on you at all times. I had a customer got in a pretty big wreck, and he thought he was okay, was walking around, so he just went on his merry way. Guess what? The next day, he dropped dead. he had internal injuries that he didn't think anything of, and he ended up bleeding to death internally. So if you get in a wreck, even a medium-sized one, let's say you got rear-ended and head got snapped back, or you hit somebody and you end up smashing into the steering wheel, you can have some serious internal injuries that you don't even know about. So go to the hospital or an emergency room and get yourself checked out. Because if you don't, it's not like a car where you look at it, you can see, well, that's bent, that's not bent, it's okay, or it's really messed up. You could really be seriously injured inside and not know it. So always have your insurance card with you. And since you'll have your phone, you can always find where the nearest hospital is. It's not like you gotta look around like you did in the olden days. Just push nearest hospital and Google will tell you right where it is. So now you know 5 things that you can do to save yourself if you get in a serious car wreck. Now I hope nobody ever gets in a serious car wreck, but let's face it, odds are many people at some point in their life are going to get into one. But now you can be better prepared, so it won't be the end of you. Might be the end of your car, but hey, you can replace the car, you can't replace yourself. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.